thought today, I thought I would do a video about how I do sugar waxing. Now, I'm someone who has really, really sensitive skin, like obnoxiously sensitive skin. And no matter what I've done, I get ingrown hairs. I still get a few, but it's more like one or two. And it lasts, sugar waxing lasts a lot longer than when I shave, and my legs look so much better. Normally when I shave, it doesn't really matter how I shave, what I do. I've tried it like every way you can think of. And I get red bumps, and they last, and then I get ingrown hairs that are really, really hard to get out. And after I do get them out, then I'm just left with a red scar that doesn't go away for, you know, a little while. And then it's like I've shaved my legs and I just don't feel like they look nice because they have red bumps all over. And is it worth it? So I was YouTubing a lot of different things that I could try. And so I came across sugar waxing because I didn't like the idea of regular waxes that you can get because it seemed more like one-time use only and like lots of chemicals and really gross. And I feel like this was, you know, I could use it maybe a few times, even though it's a little bit nasty because the hair's still in there, but who cares, you know. I tried this for the first time a week ago, and I had 2 ingrown hairs since then, and that was it. And so it's really important, after you do the sugar waxing, you need to give your legs a rest. So you can put coconut oil on them after, but you really need to, don't put on tight clothing. Like I wouldn't wear these jeans after waxing. Something I did when I was doing it the first time that helped was I got a cloth just like a little bit damp, and then I put it in the freezer so I could wax it, apply pressure, and then if it still hurt after, like you want to wax, apply pressure, and then if it hurts a second after, I'll put the ice over it. Aftercare. So I would say for me, about 2 days after is when I would start exfoliating. So I would put lotion on the second day, and then after the second day, well, I guess on the third day, I would start exfoliating. But right now what I do for exfoliating is I just put some unscented soap and I rub it in a wet cloth, and then I just scrub. And I do scrub pretty hard because it is a cloth. It's still really gentle even if you are scrubbing harder. So yeah, let's get this started. So what you want to get is your sugar. You're going to do a 1/2 cup of sugar. A little bit extra in there because my measurements isn't perfect. It's not important that you're measuring perfect. It's important that you accept you're not going to be perfect at making this the first time. So you're going to make this 1/4 cup, half water, half of your lemon juice. So you're going to fill it until it's like there. And then you're just going to fill the rest with water and dump it in there. And those are all the ingredients you need for that. Then we're going to put it on medium-high heat. I always start mine a little bit lower. You can go hotter at any time. And then of course you want to have something to mix it with. I'm using this, it's just a plastic little ladle for stirring because you're going to stir this constantly. Also, something good to note is that when you start this, you just need to have the mentality that it is going to take you more than likely. It is going to take you several tries to get this down, but once you do, you still might mess it up because I do, and that's okay. It's totally okay because this isn't expensive. This isn't, you know, anything crazy. You just really need to make sure you're sitting there or standing there next to it so you don't burn it. And I am the worst. I burn just about everything I cook, but I have yet to burn this sugar. So your mixture is going to start bubbling, and that is okay. You can turn it down if the process is happening. too fast for you. That is completely okay. It's gonna start bubbling, and what you need to be watching for is when it turns a golden color, because the second it turns golden, you want to take it off the heat and put it in a ceramic bowl. Because if it gets, because you want to take it off the heat when it gets golden brown, because the moment it goes darker than golden brown, you're entering the zone of your wax being too hard and you're not going to be able to use it, especially, and if you are, you're not going to be able to use it more than once, because it's going to turn really, really hard, and you're gonna be pissed. you're gonna be sad. And please, please, please be careful when you are doing this. This handle doesn't get too hot, so I don't need anything, but do be careful. If it's splattering out of the pot, it's too high, or you have like too small of a pot and too much stuff in it, okay? So please, please, please be careful so you don't burn yourself. And it depends on what kind of stove you have and your settings. This can take 10 minutes, this can take up to 20 minutes. It just depends on how high you have it and what your stove is like. It's just important that you keep an eye on it. And if you want to, without taking off the burner, if you want to check, I just like to ladle some, let it cool off a little bit, and then I just look at the color that's running out like this, and it's still pretty clear, so we're good. You can tell now that it is getting a little bit more golden brown, so I am going to do my little check, and I'm going to keep stirring it while the bubbles are going down. And what we are looking for is that golden color. It's gonna look like golden honey. So this is perfect. And you're gonna turn your heat off, and you're gonna pour this. You're gonna notice as it starts to harden, it's gonna get kind of like a film, like it's gonna kind of gather, I guess you could say. But you're gonna get like that. You don't wanna swish it all in your bowl like crazy, because it's gonna stick around the rim, and you want it, you know, as close together as it can so you can get it out of the bowl. Really quickly, something I do just want to add is that if you choose to wax, that's your choice. If you choose to shave any part of your body, that's your choice. And no one should make you feel like you have to.
It is your world, baby. We're just living in it, okay?
Don't let your partner, don't let your man tell you, okay, it's what's comfortable with you. It's what's best for you and your skin and how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, and if your partner don't like it, then they ain't for you. They ain't for you. I bet they do stuff you don't necessarily like.
Before you get started, or after, or during, or while it's cooling, you want to grab just a regular container and some coconut oil. And this is gonna make it easier for you to get the wax out of your container. I'm just gonna take like this much and just line the container. Actually, I'm gonna take a little bit more. And I'm gonna smear all around the container so that I can get my wax out easily, even if I'm just using it 1 or 2 times. But this is gonna make your life so much easier, I promise, when you're trying to get it out. Okay, so you wanna get a spoon. When I tried to mix this before, it was still too sticky, and this feels good. Like, I can put my hand in it, but it's not sticking. Like, there's nothing on my hand. So, you wanna, yeah, this is like really hard to get out. Now, you are going to have to scrape this or pull this out. And it's gonna be really tough, but it's okay. It's worth it right now, and it works. It's not like hard enough for me to change my method at the moment. So I do want to get all of it that I can out. Like, I'm just pinching and putting it on. And however you do it, there's no like wrong method of getting as much off as you can. And some of it may still stick to you, and it's okay because we're not doing anything with it just yet, really. So, okay, once you have your glob, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna pull it off of your spoon. The only thing I really learned in my home economics class is the more you use, the less you have to actually clean. So you want it to be like, oh, there's some nail polish. It's okay. So you want to pull it like this. It should look like that. And we want to get it to where, and yeah, see how it's not sticking to my hands? That's exactly what we want. So it should be kind of like taffy. Like you should feel like this is fun. The texture is really nice. I love fun textures, so this is really great. What you want to have is your wax, and then you also want to have a little container of flour. Now what the flour is for is because your skin has natural oils on it, and they're gonna get in the way of your waxing. So you want to just put a light amount. I just go like this. I just take like this amount, I just pat it. And let's say I'm doing my arms. I don't wax my arms because my hair is really fine and there's not enough. I don't care. So I just go like this and I just do the area I'm going to wax like that. So you can see it a little bit. And then I'm going to take out, now look how easy this is because of the oil. And if it was sticky, you wouldn't be able to get it out. Got it all. So you're going to take as much as you need. I only need a little bit. So I'm just gonna go like that. Lop off a little amount. And then I'm just gonna go like this. Notice how it's not sticking, okay? And then so I'm gonna go like this, and you wanna go in the opposite direction of your hair. When you're putting on, go in the opposite direction of your hair is growing. So my hair grows this way on my arm, meaning I'm going to take this and apply it this way and rip it off that way, okay? So you're gonna put it on against the grain and rip it off with the grain. So I'm gonna take it and I'm smashing it on there. Like I'm pressing and pulling and smashing all at the same time. Go like this. And then I like to leave a little tab so I have something I can pull on. I leave it there for a second. So leave it on just for a second, and then it still scares me. I'm still not used to it. And then I just pull it off. And you might have to do this a few times to get the hairs. And if it's a little red, it's okay. You're going to be a little red because you're waxing. So when you pull it off, if I'm doing this on my legs, I'll apply pressure because my arms don't hurt as much as my leg hairs do because these are so fine. But so I'll wax it, pull it off, and then apply pressure immediately. That's going to help with the pain and swelling so much. And if it still hurts after that, you can just put a damp towel that you had in the fridge or in the freezer on there for a brief moment. And then when you are done, just put your little ball in here. It is kind of gross, so I keep this in my bathroom in a drawer so people aren't just seeing it on the counter because there will be hair in there. You can reuse it if you want to. If not, you can just throw it away. It's not a big deal. But you just put it in there, put a lid on it, and I like to keep a little bit of flour separate so I'm not mixing my cosmetic flour, I guess you could say, and my cooking flour. So I just keep these two in the bathroom because these are just for me. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to answer.